Hey, welcome to my channel. This is my first video, so make sure you subscribe so you can catch more videos. Today I'm just going to be playing with this new palette that I got for Christmas and some other new stuff. Right now I'm just putting on a face serum because my face was really dry. It's the aloe and avocado, I think, from 4th Ray Beauty. And I really like it, honestly. It makes my skin like super hydrated. And honestly, this winter month and these cold days is just killing me, seriously. So now I'm just going in with my Morphe brow pencil. I don't remember what color it is because I got it in their Arch Obsessions kit. It's like the darkest one. It's not black, but it's the darkest brown. I want to say it's called like Java or something. And I don't know, sometimes I use the brow pomade that came with it. Sometimes I use the pencil when I want a more just like chill day, even though the look took a big turn and didn't end up being natural at all. But I don't know, I really didn't feel like messing around with the brow pomade and all that stuff because it takes like 10 times longer. Now I'm just going in with the brow gel that came in the Arch Obsessions kit. I really like this one compared to ColourPop because them hairs, baby, ain't going nowhere. And now I'm going in with my No Filter Concealer by ColourPop. I usually do this more heavily when I do pomade because I have to clean it up a little bit. But here I'm just highlighting it because I don't really have to because I didn't really take the pencil anywhere outside of my natural brows. And I tried to show all the brushes that I use, and most of them are like ColourPop or Real Techniques or some of Morphe's brushes. But I think if anything, I'm going to link them all down below because there's too many to go through and name as I'm using them. And now I'm going in with my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer just to use as a base because I don't really like P. Louise anymore. And the palette I'm using is the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. I got it for Christmas from my aunt and oh my god, I was literally so excited because I wanted this palette, but then I just never got around to buying it and it was so pretty. The shadows are so pretty. Oh, and here again, I showed the brushes, but when I was editing it, I realized that from the light and the reflective on the brush, you can't really see it. So I'm like, there was no point in me doing this. So like I said, if anything, I'm just going to link them down below. Or if you want to know, just comment and I'll tell you which brush was which. I started to pull out the brushes and decide which colors I was going to use, and then I realized I didn't set the concealer. So I started using the Fit Me powder because I just got it and I'm testing it out. So I used that to set my eyes. And this brush I got from my aunt as well, and I don't know where she got it, but it's really pretty and it's really nice. The first shade that I'm going in with is called Perfectionist, and I just put it down in my crease using circular motions to use it as a transition shade for whatever color. I wanted to go neutral, but then I ended up going like red and pink and all this other stuff. But originally my plan was to do like a soft neutral like casual look, so I wanted to use that because it was such a light color. And I'm just getting used to filming with a camera and like trying to keep the handheld mirror out of the frame. So a couple of times you're gonna see like the palette that I was using to use as a mirror like drift in front of the camera, and I tried to correct it as much as possible, but sometimes it was like I didn't catch it. And what I like to do when I'm blending out my shadow is take a clean blending brush. And this is my favorite one from the Morphe Jaclyn Hill line. And I just buff out the edges of the color that I just used because I feel like it makes like a more clean blend instead of like the shadow going all the way up to your brows. And then the second shade that I'm going in with is Thick Skin, and I'm putting it directly on top of the crease color that I already put down. And the issue that I have with this color is that it looked lighter in the pan than it did on my lid. Like I thought it was gonna be a light peachy color, and then it turned orange, which I was kind of like, am I seeing things? But then I was looking online and I see like a lot of people thought it was a different color than what it is, so. And this is like kind of where the look started to drift, right? Because I thought this was going to be like a light peachy color, and then it turned orange, and I'm like, I don't want orange eyelids because I wanted to use like a pinkish lip. So then I had to look in the palette and find like a pinky moody color to use, and this is where the whole look went left. So then I started going in with Next from the palette, and it came out pretty good, but at this moment I was like, this looks crazy, like this is not gonna work out, which it ended up did, and it came out really pretty, so I'm kind of like proud of myself. But woo, I thought it was gonna be real bad. And I'm doing the same thing that I've been doing with the other two shadows, which is going in little circular motions throughout my crease. And I had to go a little bit heavier with this color because I wanted to cover the orange. But then I ended up taking my clean blending brush and blending in and buffing out the edges, so it worked out. And after I got done blending out Next, I felt like there was no depth in my eyelid anymore. So I went, because I had to cover all of the orange with that color. So I went in with the color called Next, and I only put it in my outer corner and then a little bit into my crease, just to give my eye like more depth and dimension. And when I was watching the last clip, when I was editing this, I wasn't going to put this one in because it's literally the same thing. But I realized that most of it is cut off by either my hand or the palette. So I put this one in so you could see it from a different angle. And I'm just taking my clean, well, at this point it wasn't clean anymore, but I was taking my blending brush that had no powder on it and going in and blending the colors together. And then I got these brushes at Target. They're like Sonia Kashuk, I think it's with a K, but they're fluffy. So I took them and I put Crazy, which was the darker color I used, and I just brought it into my lid a little bit more to give my eye like a cat eye look. And then I'm going in here with my e.l.f. concealer to cut my crease, because originally I wanted to do like a soft glowy look, but clearly that took a turn. So I cut my crease because I wanted to put Rider Diamonds, which is like this light champagne glitter color, in the cut crease. This Jaclyn Hill Morphe brush is so good for shimmers and glitters. And I used that to put Rider Diamonds on top of my cut crease. And then I went back in with one of the brushes that I used previously to blend the lines with both of the colors that I used, which were Next and Crazy. Next, I'm starting on my face. So I'm going with my Too Faced Primed and Poreless Primer, which I really like it, especially when I put a serum or a moisturizer beneath it, because it really just like sets it and locks everything in. Because like I have big pores, but I have dry skin, so like they don't always go hand in hand with certain primers. And I just like push it into my skin all over. Like I rub it and then push it and tap it. You can't really see it, but. And then next I'm going in with my L'Oreal Infallible Foundation and my e.l.f. Buffing Foundation brush. And this is a new foundation I've never tried before. But that brush is literally my favorite foundation brush. I stopped using beauty blenders because I like that brush so much. It works really well with my Juvia's Place foundation because their foundation is so thick that I can literally use half as much as I used to use. And I'm not sure that I got my correct shade. I think I could have gone a little bit warmer in the undertone, but I think it all works out in the end with my contour and stuff, but And this was so weird. I don't know if anybody else has had this reaction, but I think that my foundation and that primer specifically were like not mixing well together, because as soon as I put that foundation on, it was tingling. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but I just stopped to smell it because it had like a really strong perfumey smell. So I wasn't sure if I got like an expired bottle or what the issue was, because I know that there's sunscreen in it, so that kind of would explain the smell, but the tingling was really weird. So I think I'm gonna have to try this foundation again with a different primer, because I've used that primer before and it works great with like Juvia's Place and stuff. But so I don't know if it's the foundation and primer together or if that foundation is just bad. At the last second I realized I was covering my face with the palette. And then I'm going in with my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer and the same concealer brush I used for my brows. And I saw this technique, Robert Walsh, he does a lot of YouTube videos about like critiquing influencers' makeup. And he always says to do this with your concealer. This is my first time trying it and I love the way it came out. Like, I put it on with that brush and then I took this Real Techniques brush and just like tapped it and buffed it out and brought it along the rest of my eye. And the way it made my face look when I was done, like, it made my face look so like snatched, I guess. I don't know for a better term, but it just looks so pretty. Like, you see how much different that eye looks to the eye with no concealer? Like, it just lifts it instead of dragging it down with that triangle method. And then I set it with the Fit Me powder and that new brush that I got. And I don't know how I feel about Fit Me powder. And then I use the NYX Wonder Stick to contour and a Real Techniques brush to blend it out. And I'm only using this one because I lost my Morphe one. And I almost feel like this color is too orange. Like, it should be a bronzer instead of a contour. Like, it's too warm. I love to contour underneath my chin and just give yourself like a snatched jawline. This color was like okay. The Morphe one looks better because it's a cooler tone. Like, this one was too warm. And next I'm going in with my Revolution blush palette. And I haven't used all of the colors, but the colors that I have used are really pretty and they last longer than other blushes do. This is my first time using this highlighter also. I got it for Christmas and it's nice. I usually use the O for X Nikki Tutorials and that one is more blinding. Like, this one gives you more of a glowy look. And I actually got these lashes for my kit because I'm trying to be a makeup artist. And I wanted to try them first before I use them on other people so I knew how they were like. And they're pretty. The lashes are shorter in the front and longer towards the outer corner of your eye. So it's like more of like a blown out look. They're really pretty though. And I use my House of Lashes lash glue, but I think I need to get a new one because it kept unsticking for the inner corner. Like, it wouldn't stay, so I had to keep going in with the tweezers and keep pushing it back into my lash line. And then I'm using the BFF Cream Gel Liner from ColourPop for in my waterline. Because I don't know, I always like using white eyeliner because it makes your eyes look bigger. And this brush that I'm using to put shadow in my like lower lash line area works so well, but I have no idea where it came from. I took it from my mom and I know my mom had it for a while because the paint started like wearing off on the bottom, but it has no branding on it, so I have no idea where it came from. And I'm using this mascara, but I didn't film it just because I make the ugliest face. And I'm using the Maybelline Glass Spray for a setting spray, which I've used it a couple times, but I think it worked really well with the combination of face products that I used this time. And the lip liner that I'm using, I forgot to re-record which one it was, because the original one that I used was like too brown, and it was looking weird with the eyeshadow because the eyeshadow was like so pinkish reddish. And I ended up using this Milani one, which was more pink, but I forgot to record it. Listen, these Maybelline Super Stay liquid lipsticks literally stay. From swatching it on my hand, I had it on my hand for like 2 days because it wouldn't come off. And I used the shade Seductress, and I think it worked really well with the eyeshadow. These lifter glosses are so bomb, and they feel so good. They're not sticky, they're like perfect. And that was the finished look. I hope that you like this video, you subscribe if you want to see more. I'm going to link all of my social media down below so you can follow me and keep up with all the makeup that I do.